The following is a feature presentation of the Replay Sports Channel, the home for great games.
Good afternoon, football fans, and welcome to Replay Sports Channel's continuing coverage of Conference Championship Sunday in the World Football League. I'm your host, Len Walker. Tonight we head to Sky Global Stadium in Chicago, where the league's two best teams collide as the 12-3 Fire host the 12-3 New Jersey Hitmen for the American Conference crown. The winner of tonight's game advances to Pantheon Bowl XXIV at Cobalt Arena in St. Louis 2 weeks from today to face the National Conference champion, the Denver Gold. And the team comparison screen ahead of you there, we're expecting a interesting matchup between these two teams. They haven't seen each other so far this season. New Jersey, first in the league in defense points allowed. They allowed just an average of 16.6 points a game. 39 degrees, slight wind, not as cold as the forecasts had predicted earlier in the week. Chicago, 11-point favorites coming into today's game. New Jersey making their first conference championship appearance in 4 years. And they believe that their defense can travel anywhere. Standing in their way is the Chicago franchise, loaded with stars and championship expectations. Chicago has been the league's most complete team all season. The question is whether that experience and depth will win out, or if momentum will carry the challengers all the way to St. Louis. Chicago has won the toss, and they have elected to receive. Blackshear, the deep man, preparing to receive the kickoff. Sky Global Stadium filled to capacity here this afternoon. The place where the Fire have only lost once all season, back in Week 11, back on November 16th in an upset to the Pittsburgh Maulers. Chicago has been on a 5-game win streak since then. We await the opening kickoff. Blackshear from the 1 with room to run. 20, out to the 30, finally pulled down at the Chicago 39, and that's where the Fire will get to work. Chicago, led by Offensive Player of the Year candidate Baker Mayfield at quarterback. Running back will be Jahmyr Gibbs. Wide receivers, Amon-Ra St. Brown, George Pickens, and Jerry Jeudy. Jatavian Sanders will be a tight end. Patterson is the center. Zeitler and Cleveland are the guards. Fuaga and Williams are the tackles. Chicago, in their home red helmets, red jerseys, white pants, white numerals, moving right to left across your screen. First play of the day, American Conference Championship between the Hitmen and the Fire. Handoff to Gibbs. Pickup of 2, tackled at the 41. Let's take a look at that New Jersey Hitmen defense. The Hitmen have been on a remarkable run. Their last defeat came back on November 2nd at Baltimore. They have won 7 straight games, and they are 5-2 on the road. 2 of their 3 losses came away from home. Second and 8 from the Chicago 41. 3 wide receiver set for Chicago. Mayfield under center. Hand off to Gibbs into the left side of the line. Maybe to the 42. 1 yard is it. That'll bring up 3rd and 7. Mayfield will set up in the shotgun. St. Brown and Judy are lined up to the left, Pickens to the right. Mayfield, shovel pass to Gibbs. He gets close to the first down, but he's going to be tackled a yard shy. 4th and 1. An easy decision for head coach John Harbaugh. He's going to leave the offense out on the field to pick up 4th and 1. Full house backfield in for Chicago. They need to get to the Chicago 49. Handoff to Gibbs, plunges into the middle of that line. It's going to be close. Did he get it? First down indicated by the referee, Clay Martin. Fresh set of downs for Chicago. Ball right near the midfield logo. 39 degrees at kickoff. Very little wind here in Chicago. And off to Gibbs. Penetrates New Jersey territory. Stopped at the New Jersey 48, a pickup of 3. Gibbs, 1,084 rushing yards during the season, scored 3 touchdowns last week in the win over DC. 2nd and 7 coming up, just underway here from Chicago. Mayfield changing the play at the line. Gonna pass on 2nd and 7. Checks down to Gibbs. He's to the 45, 40. Finally tackled at the 40-yard line. A first down, a gain of 8. Jet sweep. Amon-Ra St. Brown to the right side. 35, 30. Finally pulled down at the 29. A pickup of 11. Chicago on the move in their opening drive. Mayfield changing the signals again. Gibbs leaning in to hear the change in the play, then lines back up in his position. Mayfield's going to pass, checks down to Gibbs again. Zags past the 25, finally tackled by Roberts at the 18, and a pickup of 11. Denver awaits the winner of this game. Denver defeated Birmingham earlier today by a score of 21-16. Mayfield back to pass, has time, looking for the end zone for Judy. Touchdown, Chicago. 18-yard touchdown pass. Mayfield to Judy. and Chicago strikes first. Great protection up front there on that Chicago offensive line. And then Judy tiptoes it, dotted the I, crossed the T before going out of bounds. Cameron Dicker with the point after attempt. It's good with 9:04 left. A 9-play, 61-yard drive taking up 5 minutes, 51 seconds. And Chicago strikes first. They lead it 7-0. You're watching American Conference Championship from the WFL here on the Replay Sports Channel. Perfect start if you're a Chicago Fire fan. Dicker set to kick off. Burton back deep to return. And this one will not be returnable. And it'll be a touchback. 1st and 10, ball be placed at the New Jersey 25. And the starting offense for the New Jersey Hitmen. Justin Herbert at quarterback. Joe Mixon will be the running back. Wide receivers are A.J. Brown, Rashad Bateman, Wan'Dale Robinson. The tight end is Isaiah Likely. Mitch Morse is at center. Chris Lindstrom, Evan Brown to the guards. Darnell Wright and Spencer Brown are the tackles. New Jersey in their away black helmets, black pants, white jerseys, and kind of a mix blue and black numerals. Moving left to right across your screen. 1st and 10, 9:04 to go. New Jersey's first possession of the game. Herbert lining up in the gun. A delay draw to Mixon up the middle. Gets maybe 3, and that's it. Tackled by Horn at the 28. Let's take a look at that Chicago defense. Jarrett and Jordan are the defensive ends. Odezigua is the nose tackle. Jennings, Cooper are the outside linebackers. Sherwood, the middle linebacker. Horn and Johnson are the cornerbacks. Stone and Smith are the safeties. Garrett Williams will be the nickelback. 2nd and 7. Brown and Robinson lined up on the left side. Bateman lined up to the right. Herbert back to pass. With time. Over the middle. Completes it to Likely near the 45. Cuts back to the 40. Over to the 30. Finally brought down by Smith at the Chicago 30. A 42-yard pickup by the tight end Isaiah Likely. And 2 plays later, New Jersey's already in Chicago territory. New Jersey will go double tight end formation this time. Mixon the lone running back. Herbert will line up under center. Pitch right to Mixon. Plunges into the line, gets to about the 23, a pickup of 7. Bring up 2nd and 3. Joe Mixon's the heartbeat of that offense. Carried 114 yards last week, carried the ball for 31 times. He'll get the handoff again, and he's stopped cold at the line of scrimmage. Sherwood puts on the brakes there, and that'll bring up 3rd and 3. Herbert will line up under center on 3rd and 3. 3 wide receivers set up. Herbert back to pass. Fires. Incomplete. That was underneath, intended for A.J. Brown. That'll bring up 4th and 3. And out will come the field goal kicking unit. This one looks to be about a 42-yard attempt. Cam Little. Kick is up, straight and good. So with 5:59 left, New Jersey adds 3. They only trail by 4 to the Chicago Fire. Both of these teams did not face one another this season, but both dominated the American Conference. Both have identical 12-3 records, and one of these two teams will advance to the Pantheon Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Little prepares to kick away. And Blackshear is going to down the ball in the end zone for a touchback. So early observation, Chicago has a very nice drive. Took a gamble on 4th down near midfield that paid off. Scored a touchdown. New Jersey, huge play, catch and run by Isaiah Likely, but the drive stalled and they had to settle for a field goal. So that's where things stand here late in the first quarter. Mayfield lining up under center. Hands it off to Gibbs, left side. Finally brought down at the 29-yard line, a gain of about 4 yards. Mayfield threw 3 touchdowns last week. Gibbs scored 2. The Fire converted on 5 of 7 red zone opportunities in that 37-24 win over the DC Defenders. Second and 6 from the Chicago 29. Mayfield back to pass. Has time. Completes the pass to Pickens near the 45. And he was drilled by Stevenson, but Pickens manages to hang on, a gain of 16. Approaching the 5-minute mark of the first quarter, Chicago leads at 7-3. On the move again here on their second possession. Mayfield back to pass, checks down to Gibbs. He's to the 50, breaks into New Jersey territory, finally tackled at the 48, a pickup of 7. Gibbs already with 3 receptions in this game. Mayfield, 5 for 5 to start the game, has thrown for 60 yards. Double tight end formation in for Chicago. Handoff to Gibbs, left side of the line. Going to be close to that first down marker, but he didn't get it. They'll mark him down at the 46. It'll bring up 3rd and 1. Mayfield calling out the play from under center. Handoff to Allen. 3rd down back, Allen gets 2, and they pick up another first down. Chicago has picked up 7 first downs so far in this game. Blackshear into the game at running back. Mayfield back to pass, in some trouble. He's got to get out of there. Finally tackled by Roberts. Granderson was coming around on that right end. And Mayfield had to get out of there. So he picks up 4. They'll bring up 2nd and 6. Mayfield calling the play from the shotgun. Back to pass. Blitz up the middle. Picked up. Completes the pass to Pickens near side 30. 25. Finally tackled out of bounds at the 25. A gain of 15. Chicago has already gained 111 yards here in the first quarter. Ball be at the New Jersey 25. 1st and 10. Mayfield back to pass. Blitz coming on the left side. Another completion to Pickens at the 20. The 15. Tiptoes down to the sideline. Finally whipped his feet out from under him by Stevenson at the 12-yard line. 1st down, Chicago. This could get interesting if you're a New Jersey fan. Hitmen defense need a stop here. 63 seconds left. Mayfield having to change the play at the line of scrimmage. Mayfield calls his own number, and he's going to be hit by Carl Loftus at the 13. So a loss of a yard, and that will be the last play of the first quarter. So Chicago leads at 7-3, and they're threatening to score again. As we've completed 1 quarter of play, we head into the second frame. You're watching WFL Championship, Conference Championship Sunday on the Replay Sports Channel. So we start the second quarter. Chicago with the ball at the New Jersey 13, 2nd and 11. Mayfield having to call an audible. He's been audibling a lot here in the first half. Sets up in the shotgun, back to pass. With time. Looking for the tight end, Sanders, but there's a flag, and we have our first flag of the day. Clay Martin is the referee, and it's a pass interference on Bullock. So Sanders was interfered with. So it's 1st and 10. Fresh set of downs for Chicago. Mayfield under pressure, hit as he throws. There's going to be a flag. Roughing the passer on Granderson. So back-to-back penalties on the New Jersey defense. So move the ball 6 yards to the New Jersey 6. It'll be 1st and goal. Three wide receivers set. Gibbs the lone running back. Mayfield calling out the signals. Hands off to Blackshear. Stopped near the 4. Pickup of 2. We haven't seen Gibbs recently. Let me check, see any word on Gibbs. No, Gibbs is not injured. Second and goal. 12th play of this drive. Chicago dominating time of possession so far in this game. Mayfield back to pass, fires over to St. Brown in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. 4-yard touchdown pass by Mayfield to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And Chicago looking to go ahead by 11 points. Cameron Dicker on for the point after attempt. Just inside the upright, but it still counts as good. So with 14:08 left to go, Chicago jumps out to a 14-3 lead. Burton to the deep man to return for Jersey. Duvernay and Tracy are the upmen. And Chicago could not ask for a better start here, as that kick will not be returned. Touchback. And New Jersey will start at their own 25. One of the key matchups that we've been watching tonight has been Mayfield versus Surtain. Chicago, known for their explosive plays on offense this year, and you've seen evidence tonight already, and if you saw the DC game last week, Baker Mayfield, first overall pick by Birmingham, believe it or not, back in 2019. Of course, his road to Chicago has been long and winding, and he's now a nominee for Offensive Player of the Year. And he has some great weapons to choose from: Amon-Ra St. Brown and George Pickens. Pat Surtain, one of the best cornerbacks in football. Mission coming into tonight was to try to slow Mayfield and that Chicago offense down, but so far it has not worked. And a quick look over at the sideline there. Head coach Aaron Glenn, who's also the defensive coordinator, he's huddling up with members of that New Jersey defense, trying to figure it out on the iPad there. As Herbert will hand off to Mixon, there's a penalty flag as he's tackled at the 28. And Jarrett, while he was tackling Mixon, got a hold of some face masks. So they'll add 15 yards to the 3 gained by Mixon, and the ball will end up at the New Jersey 43. Hitmen's defense last week forced 3 turnovers against St. Louis, and they turned those mistakes into points. So in addition to Surtain, you have the rookie Kalen Bullock and the veteran Von Miller, who missed last week. He's back in healthy this week. But now they're sitting watching the offense as Mixon gets around a missed tackle, but he's hit for a loss. So it brings up 2nd and 11. At halftime, we'll have a quick recap of the earlier game. Denver's Cinderella season continues. They had the upset of Birmingham. And the first half of this game is Mixon around the left side, finally spun down by Smith at the 47, a pickup of 5. It'll bring up 3rd and 6. Herbert goes to the line to change the play, then moves back to the pistol formation. Back to pass. Fires for Brown, incomplete, and he was double covered there. So that'll bring up 4th down and the punting unit. So first time we've seen either punter in this game. Bailey gets that one away. Good hang time. Blackshear at his own 2. Looking for an opening. Finally brought down at the Chicago 10-yard line. So probably the worst starting field position for Chicago. And they'll start to work from their own 10. Mayfield will line up under center. He's going to pass. Checks down to Gibbs, who's back in the game. Gets near the 15. They'll mark him down at the 14, a gain of 4. Gibbs, 7 carries for 19 yards, 4 receptions for 30 yards. He's been the main cog of that offense. Mayfield, 9 of 9 for 96 yards. 2nd and 6, ball at the Chicago 14. Back to pass, over the middle, trying to get Gibbs on the button hook there. Incomplete. First missed pass of the night by Mayfield, and it'll bring up 3rd and 6. Mayfield drops back over the middle, completes it to Pickens at the 20, gets around one man, finally drugged down by Stevenson. He'll pick up a first down, a gain of 9. Pickens with 4 catches for 53 yards. Chicago dominating time of possession, 13 minutes, 37 seconds to 4:49 for New Jersey. 1st and 10, ball at the Chicago 23. Screen pass to Gibbs. Trying to get around the right side. He gets near the 30. Knocked down. They're going to mark him at the 29. Knocked down by McMillan, a pickup of 6. Second and 4 coming up. Mayfield again looking for Gibbs, but that was a little bit too far out in front of him, incomplete. Now bring up 3rd and 4. Clock stops with 10:07 left to go here in first half. Chicago leads at 14-3. New Jersey trying to get a stop here. Mayfield with time. Fires to Sanders at the 35. Brought down at the 36, a gain of 7. 1st and 10 Chicago. Clock continues to run. Three wide receiver set. Gibbs the lone running back. Mayfield to pass. Completes to Mickens near the 40. Stopped at the Chicago 42. Mayfield now 12 of 14 for 118 yards. We're under 10 minutes to go now in the second quarter. Chicago just moving the ball at will against this New Jersey defense. Delay draw to Gibbs. 45, 50, breaks into New Jersey territory. Finally tackled at the 43 by Bullock. A gain of 15 yards. Aaron Glenn's just trying to dial up some kind of defense here that stops this Chicago machine from moving forward. Another draw to Gibbs, right side of the line, 40, 35. Stopped at the 31, pickup of 12. Gibbs now 10 carries for 52 yards. First and 10, ball at the New Jersey 31. 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. Chicago leads 14-3. 10th play of the drive coming up. Mayfield back to pass with time. Fires, completes to Judy at the 20. Gets by one man, finally brought down at the New Jersey 15. Mayfield is just hot today. 13 of 15, 134 yards. That one was a gain of 16. We're halfway through the second quarter. Mayfield steps back to pass. In trouble, forced to scramble. He's inside the 10, finally brought down by McDuffie at the 7. It'll bring up 2nd and 2. Ball rests at the New Jersey 7. 6.5 minutes to go. Mayfield lining up under center. Pitch left to Allen. Around the left side, and he's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 3rd and 2. Two tight end formation. Allen, the lone running back. And Mayfield hit by Lawrence. Lawrence timed the snap perfectly, got into the backfield by about the same time the ball got into Mayfield's hands. Loss of 2, that will bring up 4th down, and let's see what Coach John Harbaugh decides. He's going to send out Dicker for what looks to be a 26-yard field goal attempt. Rinkow on the hold, and the kick is good. So with 4:31 left, Chicago now leads at 17-3. You're watching the American Conference Championship game from the WFL here on the Replay Sports Channel. So the New Jersey Hitmen find themselves in a hole here with 4:31 left to play before halftime. Dicker prepares to kick off. So glad you're joining us here on the Replay Sports Channel. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Burton from his own 1 gets to the 5, over to the 10, through the 15, past 2 players, 20, 30, finally tackled at the 35. A 36-yard return by Burton. Aaron Glenn, head coach, his first year with New Jersey, is no stranger to Chicago. He played for what was then known as the Chicago Blitz. He was an expansion pick back in the early 2000s, and as you can see on the screen, his career numbers: 24 interceptions for 447 yards, 7 touchdowns, 430 tackles, 56 pass deflections, 4 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, and a 2-time All-Star. It was really to see during the pregame festivities. Coach Glenn talking with some of the Chicago front office personnel there and members of management. Hitmen down by 2 scores late in the first half. Ticket to the Pantheon Bowl on the line in this one is Herbert. Back to pass, fires near side, is going to be deflected by Williams, incomplete. Herbert just 1 of 4 for 42 yards on the night. It is starting to get darker here. We had the later start time. The Denver-Birmingham game was the early game. Second and 10. 3 wide receivers set. Brown and Robinson to the left. Well, we got a false start on the left tackle Brown. No, I'm sorry, the right tackle Brown. We'll move back 5 yards. Haven't heard a lot from the referee, Clay Martin, today. Second and 15 from the New Jersey 30. Herbert back to pass. And it's deflected again, this time by Horn. He was looking for Bateman. And that'll bring up 3rd and 15. New Jersey just 59 total yards of offense so far in this game. 3rd and 15, they need to get right around the New Jersey 44 to get the first down. Pass to Likely, he's at the 40, picks up the first down, he's into the 50, into New Jersey territory, 40, 35, missed tackle by Stone, and finally brought down at the Chicago 24. So Likely again with another huge catch and run. This one for 46 yards. And New Jersey deep into Chicago territory with under 4 minutes to go until halftime. Herbert back to pass. Under pressure, and he's dropped and sacked by Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan, one of the huge free agent signings Chicago made in the offseason, came over along with Geno Stone from Tampa Bay, brought some of that championship swagger and experience, and you can really see that in the way the defense has played this year. Ball will be placed at the Chicago 33 at 2nd and 19, nearing the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. New Jersey needs a score here. Throws the ball to Brown at the 20. That'll be a 15-yard pickup before he's pancaked at the 18. Nearing the 2-minute warning. Nixon and Tracy flank Herbert in the backfield. Herbert fires, completes the pass to Bateman near the 10. He's pushed out of bounds. Nope, they're going to mark him inbounds. And that's going to be the last play before the 2-minute warning. We've reached the 2-minute warning. Chicago leads 17-3, but New Jersey has their first serious drive going here. Again, don't forget, at halftime, we'll do a recap of our earlier game, Denver's upset win in Birmingham, and then a quick recap of the first half of this one. Denver awaits the winner of this game. 1st and goal, ball at the Chicago 10. Herbert back to pass. Fires near side to Robinson, near the 5, and he's angled out of bounds. Clock stops with 1:55. I formation behind Herbert on 2nd and goal. Give to Tracy. left side line, and he loses a yard. Third and goal coming up. Herbert clapping for the ball. Back to pass. Delayed draw to Tracy, and he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up fourth down. And they send out the kicking unit, Little, from about 26 yards away. Snap is good, and the kick is good. So they manage a field goal, but I know New Jersey wanted more out of that one. So with 53 seconds left, New Jersey trails by 11, 17-6. New Jersey will get the ball to start the second half. And Little's kickoff will not be returned. So Chicago will start their own 25. We'll see if what they do here. They have all three timeouts, 53 seconds, but they lead by 11. Three wide receivers set. Allen, the lone running back. Mayfield is dropped by the veteran Von Miller. Miller had missed the last couple of games due to injury, but he is now back and gets the sack. Second sack of the afternoon by the New Jersey defense. Mayfield hands off to Allen. Gets near the 23, a pickup of 2, and that could be the last play of the first half. And Chicago will let the half in. So both teams head to the warmth of the dressing room. 30 minutes to go to decide who will represent the American Conference in Pantheon Bowl 24. Chicago leads at 17-6. Halftime coming up next. Halftime here in Chicago, and the Fire lead it 17-6 as we take a look back at the first half. This is Glenn Walker joining you from the Replay Sports Channel studios. And Chicago got off to a great start. They won the toss and drove downfield. 9 plays, 61 yards. A Baker Mayfield 18-yard touchdown pass to Jerry Jeudy made it 7-0. And then on the ensuing drive, New Jersey was able to manage a Cam Little 41-yard field goal, made it 7-3. And then into the second quarter, Chicago extended their lead. A Mayfield 4-yard touchdown pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown made it 14-3. And then an exchange of field goals late in the second quarter gives us our current score 17-6 as we look at the team statistics. Chicago with 208 total yards in offense, New Jersey 122. Red zone, New Jersey one time in the red zone. They did have to settle for the field goal there late in the second quarter. Chicago 3 visits, they've scored 3 times. And if you check out that time of possession, Chicago 21.5 minutes of possession to 8.5 minutes for New Jersey. And as we look at player statistics, Justin Herbert, 5 of 9, 116 yards. Compared to Baker Mayfield, 13 of 15, 134 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 143.5 quarterback rating. Joe Mixon, 6 carries for 17 yards, leads the Hitmen in the rushing department. Jahmyr Gibbs, 10 carries for 52 yards, and he also caught 4 passes for 30 yards. Isaiah Likely, 2 big catches for New Jersey, 2 catches, 88 yards. Well, earlier today, it was the Denver Gold on the road, continuing their postseason surprise of defeating the Birmingham Americans 21-16. Derrick Henry continues his dominant postseason performance. He carried the ball 24 times, gained 135 yards, scored 2 touchdowns. Geno Smith, 14 completions out of 22 attempts, 154 passing yards, 1 touchdown. And Mike Evans, 4 catches, 42 yards, and a touchdown. And a little bit of WFL playoff history was made. It was the first time in WFL playoff history that a 6 seed had defeated a 2 seed. First time that had ever happened. So we know it'll be the Denver Gold, who will be playing in St. Louis at Cobalt Arena in 2 weeks' time in Pantheon Bowl 24. In about 30 minutes, give or take, we will know whether or not it will be the New Jersey Hitmen or it will be the Chicago Fires. So make sure to stick around after the game. We'll have the Replay Sports Channel player of the game, and we'll do a quick little preview of the big game coming up in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned. Conference Championship Sunday will continue on the Replay Sports Channel. The Hitmen will get the ball to start the second half. Dicker tees the ball up. And his kick is through the end zone and touchback. And we'll see what halftime adjustments New Jersey makes or has made as they get the ball first to start the second half. They'll start off in a 3 wide receiver set. Herbert will line up under center, Mixon the lone running back. Play action. Herbert checks down to Mixon. There's a penalty flag. They'll be holding on the offense. 4 penalties on the night for New Jersey compared to 1 penalty against Chicago. 1st and 20, ball moved back to the New Jersey 15. Herbert, delay draw to Mixon. Left side of the line, picks up 3, and be brought down at the 18. Herbert from the shotgun. In trouble. Forced to scramble. And he is hit at the 19, so only a pickup of a yard. And that will bring up 3rd and 16. Empty backfield. Mixon will line up in the slot next to Likely. Herbert back to pass. With time, Completes it to Robinson, and Robinson doesn't get much. He's tackled after a 2-yard gain, and New Jersey goes 3 and out on their first possession of the second half. Bailey back to punt. Gets away another booming kick. Blackshear from his own 34 with some running room. Finally dropped at the Chicago 46. 12:43 to go here in the second half. Talked about him a little bit already, but Baker Mayfield threw for over 3,500 yards this season, 29 touchdowns, and a 106.2 passer rating. He is a finalist for the Offensive Player of the Year award for the Gridiron Awards. That'll be the Friday before the big game on Sunday. Jahmyr Gibbs got over 1,000 yards this season. And Amon-Ra St. Brown led the team with 84 catches, 1,156 yards, and 13 touchdowns. Chicago will start with great field position at their own 46. They lead at 17-6 here early in the third quarter. Mayfield. Play action. Plenty of time. Looking to go deep. In and out of the hands. No, he caught it. Pickens with the catch at the 22. He held the ball up for the referee to see. And on the replay, yes, he does have it. So Pickens with a 35-yard catch. Ball will be placed at the New Jersey 19. New Jersey's not going to challenge it. Mayfield fires a bullet for Pickens, but it's incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. Pressure coming up the middle. Toss to Gibbs, left side of the line. Near the 15, finally tackled at the 13, a pickup of 6 yards. 3rd and 4 coming up. Chicago 3 of 5 on 3rd down so far this evening. 2 tight end formation. Sanders and Smythe are the tight ends. St. Brown and Judy are the wide receivers. Mayfield in trouble, forced to scramble. He gets to the 10, to the 5, and finally stopped 1 yard shy of the end zone. Murray making the touchdown-saving tackle at the 1. 1st and goal, Chicago. Mayfield calling out the signals. Gibbs the lone running back. Handoff to Gibbs. Plunges into the middle of the line. Did he score? Martin is reviewing it with the other officials. And no, Gibbs was stopped short of the line. So stopped short of the line. No touchdown. They'll bring up 2nd and goal. Chicago brings in their full house short yard package. Man in motion. The give to Gibbs. He dives in again. And Martin and the referees had to talk about it again, but this time they signal. They put the hands up. It's a touchdown. Gibbs like, come on, man. So now Chicago can celebrate. Dicker comes on for the point after. Right down the middle. And with 10:06 left, Chicago opens up an 18-point lead on the New Jersey Hitmen. New Jersey Hitmen find themselves down by 18 points. It's still early in the third quarter. Burton from his own end zone. He's to the 10, 20, 30. Finally brought down at the 39. So with just under 10 minutes to play, Justin Herbert and that New Jersey offense have some work to do. Talking about Justin Herbert, threw for over 3,200 yards this season, 25 touchdowns, a quarterback rating of 103.6. Joe Mixon, 653 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns. Wan'Dale Robinson, 67 catches, 719 yards and 7 touchdowns. And Cam Little, we've seen him in action already tonight. So you got a feeling here now, New Jersey, field goals aren't going to do it. Pro set formation, 3 wide receivers set. Give to Tracy, they're running the ball here, and he's hit, there's a fumble. And as they clear away the bodies, it's the New Jersey Hitmen who retain the ball. Brown, the right tackle, recovers the ball for New Jersey. That would have been disaster for New Jersey if they lost possession of the ball. So they'll mark the ball at the New Jersey 41. It'll be 2nd and 8 coming up. Herbert operating from the gun. Still on the ground. They're going to give it to Mixon, and he is hit at the line of scrimmage by Jennings. Kind of an interesting play calling here by New Jersey. It'll bring up 3rd and 8. And before we can get the playoff, Jarrett jumped into the neutral zone, so that'll help New Jersey out a little bit there. Chicago came into today's game with the 11th ranked defense. New Jersey stays on the ground. Mixon with a 2-yard gain, but there's a flag on the play. It's holding against New Jersey, but Chicago's going to decline it. John Harbaugh says decline the penalty, and it'll bring up 4th and 1. And Coach Glenn's going to leave the offense out on the field. 4th and 1, ball at the New Jersey 48. Full house backfield for New Jersey. Tracy takes the ball into the line. Did he get it? He gets the yard. 1st down motions. Clay Martin, our referee. Fresh set of downs for New Jersey. So we've seen both teams gamble and be successful on 4th down tonight. Herbert back to pass, over the middle and then dropped. Mixon had it, juggled it, and then dropped it. Now bring up second down. We're nearing the halfway point of the third quarter. Starting to feel a sense of desperation here on the New Jersey side. Herbert drifts to his right, looking for an open man, fires, finds Bateman inside the Chicago 40. Finally tracked and tackled at the 36, a pickup of 16. First and 10. Three wide receivers set. Brown and Robinson to the left, Bateman to the right. Mixon and Tracy are the running backs in the backfield. Quick toss to Mixon. He's to the 20. 25, sorry. Pickup of 12. Mixon last week in that game against St. Louis carried the ball 31 times for 114 yards. Another first down for New Jersey. They're in that three wide receiver, two running back set, no tight end. And the running backs are in like an I formation. Herbert to pass, finds Robinson near side at the 5. And he's tackled there. Pickup of 18, first and goal, New Jersey. Pitch is right to Mixon. And he is hit and stopped by Grady Jarrett. So no gain. Chicago coming in with the 7th ranked red zone defense in the league. Looking to stop New Jersey here. Second and goal. 4.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Penalty flag before we can get a playoff, and Grady Jarrett again getting a little too antsy. That'll move the ball to the 2-yard line. Herbert hands off to Tracy into the middle of the line. He's in for a touchdown. And New Jersey gets their first touchdown of the evening. And they elect to go for 1 point here. Little on for the extra point. And it's up and good. So with 4.5 minutes left to play in the third quarter, New Jersey cuts the lead to 11. Sky Global Stadium in Chicago, 39 degrees at kick. Sky Global Stadium in Chicago, 39 degrees at kickoff, but things are beginning to heat up late in the third quarter. New Jersey pulls to within 11. As Little prepares to kick off. And kick goes through the end zone for a touchback. See a lot of renewed energy on that New Jersey sideline after that touchdown. Mayfield changing the play at the line of scrimmage. 3 wide receiver sets, St. Brown and Judy on the left, Pickens on the right. Play action to Gibbs. Mayfield looking to launch that one, completes it to Brown at the 50. Finally tackled by Surtain at midfield, a 25-yard pass. Mayfield, 15 of 18, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns. Penalty flag, and it's going to be a false start on the left guard Zeitler. That'll move him back to the Chicago 45. Mayfield under center. Blitz coming. Delay handoff to Gibbs. Gets to about the 47, a pickup of 2. Chicago looking to go to their first Pantheon Bowl since 2018. And we'll talk more about that when we go into the fourth quarter. Second year under Coach John Harbaugh. They got as far as the divisional round last year. Pitch right to Gibbs on 2nd and long. And he's going to be stopped after a 1-yard gain. It's going to bring up 3rd and 12. Harbaugh, former coach of the Washington Federals, won a championship with them. Now trying to do the same with Chicago. First, they got to get past New Jersey. 3 minutes to go here, third quarter. Mayfield operating from the shotgun, has time, completes it to Gibbs downfield in New Jersey territory, tackled immediately. It's 4th and 3. Ball will be placed at the New Jersey 43. And Chicago is going to keep the offense out on the field. I don't think we've seen Chicago punt yet tonight. Mayfield from the gun. Mayfield back to pass. Completes it to Judy inside the 40. He's got the first down to the 35. Pickup of 8. Fresh set of downs for Chicago. Under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Chicago on the move. Handoff to Gibbs, right side of the line. He's going to be stopped after about a yard gain. Gibbs, 16 carries for 63 yards. Mayfield changing the play at the line. He was going to line up as a pistol formation, but now he's under center. Back to pass, blitz up in the middle. Mayfield trying to get away, but he's finally tripped up by Roberts. A loss of 5. Third and 14 coming up. They need to reach the New Jersey 25 for the first down, but they will not get a play off. That is the last play of the third quarter. Hold on tight, folks. We're going into the fourth quarter. The The winner of this one wins the American Conference Championship and a place in Pantheon Bowl 24. Fourth quarter action coming up next on the Replay Sports Channel.
This telecast is copyrighted by the WFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the WFL's consent is prohibited.
Last time these two teams met was week 11 of last season. Chicago won 30-7. It was here at Sky Global. Interestingly enough, Kyler Murray was the starting quarterback for Toronto. He replaced Justin Herbert. They were in the midst of a bad season, had gone 28 of 48, 250 yards, a touchdown, an interception, was sacked four times. Mayfield on that day, 27 of 36, 348 yards, 2 touchdowns. Pickens, 8 catches for 129 yards, a touchdown. Hubbard had 2 sacks. This is the second postseason meeting between the Hitmen and the Fire. Chicago leads the all-time series 9-7, and in that first postseason meeting, it was Pantheon Bowl 17. Chicago defeated the Hitmen 23-20. Of course, that famous play, who could forget it? Cam Newton with that lunge into the end zone. And of course, Cam Newton, part of the pregame festivities. They've got a statue outside the stadium commemorating that play. So of course, he participated in getting the fans all hyped up before the game. So 15 minutes to go here. The Fire lead it by 11. 3rd and 14. Mayfield barking out the signals. Back to pass. And he's going to be hit and dropped, this time by Carl Loftus. 4th sack allowed by that Chicago offensive line. And it'll bring up 4th and 17. And it's also going to mean a field goal attempt here by Cameron Dicker. So Dicker on for a very long field goal attempt. Dicker from at least 59 yards away. Very little wind here tonight. Try to extend the lead to 14. Kick is on its way, but it's going to die. Down into the end zone. No good. So Chicago turns the ball over. New Jersey will get the ball right at the midfield logo as we are just getting underway here in the 4th quarter. 4 wide receivers set in for New Jersey to start this drive. Herbert in trouble. Out of the pocket. 45, 40, finally stopped at the Chicago 36. In that 4 wide receiver set, Brown and Robinson to the left, Duvernay and Bateman to the right. Tracy the lone running back. Herbert moves under center so he can be overheard over this capacity Sky Global crowd in Chicago. Handoff to Tracy, right side, trying to get around the end. Tiptoeing along the sideline. He's to the 30, 25, finally pulled out of bounds at the 23. Pickup of 13, 1st down, New Jersey. Ball at the Chicago 23. Herbert hands the ball off to Tracy, left side, 20. Brought down at the 15 by Jordan, and a pickup of 8. Tracy, 7 carries for 24 yards. Seeing a lot of him tonight. Bring up 2nd and 2. Herbert under center. Hands off to Tracy. Stutter step up the middle and stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain. It'll bring up 3rd and 2. Hitmen are 2 of 7 on 3rd down tonight. 4 wide receiver set. Looking to cut the lead to 4. Hand off to Tracy. He's to the 10. He's got the first down. Finally brought down at the 8, a pickup of 7. Touchdown would cut Chicago's lead to 4 points here. Herbert working from the gun. Delay draw to Rashad White. His first carry of the game, and he is stopped at the line of scrimmage. Nearing the 10-minute mark of the 4th quarter. White, the lone running back, 4 wide receiver set. Herbert back to pass. Has time, looking into the end zone for White, incomplete. Clock stops with 9:42 left. They'll bring up 3rd and goal. Herbert with time. Penalty flag on the play. Incomplete pass. And it's going to be encroachment on Taylor. So 4 yards added onto it. It'll still be 3rd and goal. 9.5 minutes to go. Herbert putting his hands over the ear holes of his helmet to try to hear the play coming in on the headset. Breaks the huddle. Brown and Robinson to the left, Duvernay, Bateman to the right. White, the lone running back. Herbert working out of the gun. Chicago defenders trying to get the crowd to make some noise. Herbert back to pass, fires over the middle. Duvernay can't bring it in, incomplete. Ball was a little bit behind him, but he couldn't bring it in. Incomplete, so that'll bring up 4th down. And out will come Cam Little for what looks to be a 23-yard field goal attempt. Try to pull the Hitmen to within 8 points. Kick is up and good. So with 9:26 left to go, things are getting interesting here in the Windy City. The Hitmen are hanging on in this battle of American Conference heavyweights. Blackshear back to return the kick. And he's not going to be able to return the kick here. I'm so glad you could join us here on the Replay Sports channel. Please make sure to like and subscribe. You're watching the WFL here on the Replay Sports channel. And the crowd is getting their money's worth today. As we said earlier, you're watching the WFL on this Replay Sports channel. The WFL utilizes real NFL players, the advanced simulation capabilities of DK Sports Action PC Football. The WFL strives to create a thrilling, strategic, and statistically rich football environment that balances realism with innovation. Chicago. Two tight end formation. Mayfield under center. Hands off to Gibbs. Up the middle. 30, 40. Breaks away from one tackle into midfield and finally dragged down at the New Jersey 46. A 29-yard gain by Jahmyr Gibbs. And that'll be 92 yards on the night for Gibbs. First and 10, ball at the New Jersey 46, 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Gibbs will get the handoff into the left side of the line, pickup of 2. He stopped at the 44. The Hitmen were last in the Pantheon Bowl back in 2021. Where they defeated Oakland, the old Oakland Invaders. Justin Herbert was a rookie quarterback that season, #1 overall pick, and Rookie of the Year and MVP of that game. Mayfield pitches right to Gibbs. He's going to be stopped in the backfield by Granderson, a loss of 3. And it's going to bring up 3rd and 11. We're nearing the halfway point of the fourth quarter. We'll see what Mayfield and the offense can dial up here. 3 wide receivers set. Gibbs the lone running back. Mayfield back to pass with time. Over the middle, completes it to Brown at the 35. First down, a gain of 14. Mayfield now 18 of 21 for 225 yards. Clock continues to run. Mayfield back to pass. Short screen to Gibbs. He's at the 30, cuts back inside, finally stopped at the 28. A gain of 5. Landon Roberts with the tackle. That's his 10th of the day. 6.5 minutes to go in this one. Chicago leads by 8. 2nd and 5 coming up. Mayfield from under center. Transfers the ball to Gibbs into the right side of the line. Gets near the 26, a pickup of 2. It'll bring up 3rd and 3. A field goal here would put Chicago back up by 11. We'll see what they do here on 3rd down. St. Brown and Judy line up left. Pickens lines up right. Sanders, the tight end, lines up slot right side. They're going to give to Gibbs. Right side of the line. He's near the first down. He does. He picks up the first down, a gain of 4. Clock continues to move. Chicago, 25 first downs in this game. Chicago fans on this end of the stadium are all standing. They are just, I don't think there's any more fingernails left to chew on here. As Mayfield completes the pass to Judy near the 10, and he's stopped immediately by Stevenson, and a pickup of 11 yards. Mayfield, 20 of 23 for 241 yards. Chicago into the red zone. 4.5 minutes to go. Mayfield hands off the ball to Gibbs. Into the 10, the 5, touchdown Chicago. And with that run, Jameer gets over 100 yards rushing for the day. That's his 22nd carry, his second touchdown. And Chicago, Sweet Home Chicago. That's the song they play after every Chicago victory here at Sky Global, and you got a feeling they're going to be firing that up soon. It's a little bit of a delay handoff, and just followed his blockers in. Dicker on for the point after attempt. And it's no good, so he missed the point after attempt. So with 3:38 left, Chicago leads by 14. Look up over at the owner's box. Chicago's owner, Vince Moretti. He cannot sit down for this one. New Jersey has all three of their timeouts. Dicker, after missing that point after attempt, ready to kick off. That one sails through the end zone for a touchback. 3:38 to go. New Jersey has all three other timeouts left, and they trail by 14. New Jersey will line up in the four wide receiver set. White, the lone running back. Brown and Robinson to the left, Duvernay, Bateman to the right. Herbert hit by Hubbard, blindsided by Hubbard. It's a loss of 5. Second sack of the night by that Chicago defense. It'll bring up 2nd and 15. Herbert under pressure on a safety blitz, drifts to his right, throws the ball away. Had to get out of there as Williams was coming downtown. 3rd and 15 coming up. Herbert barking out the signals, back to pass, throws, and that's in and out of the hands of White. 4th and 15. And they're going to have to go for it here. They have to get to their 35 for the first down. This could be it for New Jersey's season. All-out blitz coming. Herbert throws. It's picked off by Smith at the 30. He's going to go all the way. Pick 6 by the veteran Harrison Smith. And that could be the capper for Chicago as Harrison Smith with a 31-yard interception return. And they might be playing Sweet Home Chicago a little bit early here tonight. Herbert threw the ball right to him. And Smith, with his finger raised in the #1 salute to the fans, into the end zone. Dicker makes this one, and it's 37-16 Chicago. Vince Moretti, the owner of the Chicago Fire, is celebrating with family and friends in his skybox. Moretti was the man who brought the team to Chicago back in 2000. He was awarded the expansion rights and named the team the Chicago Fire. He's going to get to see his team go to another Pantheon Bowl. They won it all in 2018. Sticker's kickoff will be downed in the end zone. Two and a half minutes left. Chicago leads 37-16. Herbert back to pass. Fires near side, completes it to Robinson at the 30. And steps out of bounds at the 37. Aaron Glenn, the homecoming did not go well. But you look at the accomplishments, he is also, along with John Harbaugh, a nominee for Coach of the Year at the Gridiron Awards. And in his first year, as Herbert is flushed from the pocket, forced to scramble, finally brought down at the New Jersey 45 as we near the 2-minute warning. Aaron Glenn, defensive coordinator for several years with the Las Vegas Outlaws, and came into this job, many thought was going to be a rebuilding project. Nobody thought that they would have the success that they would experience so quickly as we head to the 2-minute warning. But New Jersey winning the Eastern Division like they did over teams like Philadelphia and Baltimore, the teams that people thought were going to challenge for and win the division. But Coach Glenn has already made New Jersey a team to reckon with. 2nd and 2, Herbert throws to Duvernay at midfield. A pickup of 7. And Coach Harbaugh for Chicago, just in his 2nd year with Chicago, will be leading his team to their 2nd ever Pantheon Bowl appearance. Herbert forced to scramble, finally spun down to 45. It's a pickup of 3. It'll bring up 2nd and 7. Less than 90 seconds left to go. They're already celebrating here in the stands and along the Chicago sidelines. Herbert looking to throw long, but he's having to check down to Tracy at the 45. Steps out of bounds at the 39. It'll stop the clock with 53 seconds. And how poetic for Chicago. They're going to be playing for the league championship at their North Division rival stadium, the St. Louis Battlehawks. So that's the home stadium. And I think the way it's going to work out, Chicago will get to use St. Louis's facilities because they have the better record, so they will be practicing at the Battlehawks facility. So that'll be an interesting championship week story. And the pass for Tracy on 3rd and 1 is incomplete. Overthrows him. It'll bring up 4th and 1. Much better performance this season by Justin Herbert. Got to remember, last year, Hitmen were going through a terrible season last season under Ryan Dinwiddie, and Herbert was benched in favor of Kyler Murray. But Coach Aaron Glenn comes in, tells Herbert, you're the guy, you're going to lead the offense. 4th and 1, this is practically it here. Last chance saloon for the Hitmen. Herbert with plenty of time. Caught by Tracy in the backfield. He's got an escort, cuts outside to the 30, finally brought down at the 24, a pickup of 15. "30 seconds and change before Chicago will be officially crowned American Conference champions. Herbert back to pass. Throws to Brown at the 10. Steps out of bounds at the 9. 6 seconds left. Four wide receivers set. Herbert back to pass. Last play of the game. In and out of the hands of Tracy. 3 seconds left. This will probably be the last play of the game. Herbert back to pass. Looking to go end zone, but he's having to check down to Tracy. And Tracy into the end zone, touchdown. The Hitmen get a late score. Matter of pride more than anything. And Clay Martin, there's no time left on the clock, but Clay Martin's telling, some players and coaches are trying to leave and take the field, but Clay Martin said, okay, there's the matter of the extra point. You still have to kick an extra point before we can call this game official. So players and coaches that don't need to be on the field are going back to the sidelines. So I don't think I've seen this before in a WFL game. All right, so Cam Little on to kick a field goal for the final play of this game. And the point after is good, and it is final. The Chicago Fire are your American Conference champions. They win 37-23. Cue up Sweet Home Chicago. Congratulations, Chicago. It'll be the Denver Gold and the Chicago Fire in Pantheon Bowl 24. Your replay sports channel player of the game, Jahmyr Gibbs, 22 carries, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also had 6 catches for 44 yards. Congratulations. So in 2 weeks' time, Pantheon Bowl 24, Denver versus Chicago. We're going to get you all set for the game. Make sure to like and subscribe. Glenn Walker signing off for the Replay Sports Channel. Have a great day.